All right, so we're back with another audio plugin spotlight, and in today's video, we're going to be looking at Reformer Pro from Krotos Audio, which is essentially a vocal-based plugin that allows you to transform your voice into a Foley performance. So if that sounds exciting to you, make sure to stay tuned for the rest of the video because we're going to be exploring this plugin and actually doing a live, real-life example. So stay tuned for that. Now, I've developed a totally free mini course called The Threshold. It's designed to equip you with all the tools and knowledge you need to record industry standard dialogue, implement high-quality sound design, and integrate music seamlessly into your own audiovisual projects. You'll also learn valuable, high-demand audio production skills that'll help you take your career to the next level. So after this video is over, I want you to go down below and check out the link in the description box to gain access to this free mini course and to a dedicated community of audio professionals. Okay, let's get back into the video. All right, so as you can see, we have Reformer Pro loaded up over here. This is the latest version as of the release date of the video, and it's a pretty simple interface, which we like. You have this XY pad, which you can actually use to crossfade between not 4 different sound effects, but rather 4 different collections of sound effects. So let me explain. So you can see over here we have bonfire, and you see if you click on each one, you have different examples that you can choose. But let's say this is the one we're doing today, bonfire, because I don't know if you guys see it, but we have basically a video of a bonfire loaded up from Pixabay for our example. But if we click on this arrow over here, okay, you can see there are 2 audio files. Now, if I go back, and let's say we click on the snow debris one. Now, you see there's 4 in here. So basically, that's what I mean by collection of sound effects. So depending on the input that you're giving it, your voice, the volume, the duration, that kind of stuff, it's kind of pick and choosing between these different sound effects. So you're creating somewhat of a palette. So the more sounds you feed it, or rather the more sound effects are in that collection, the more nuances you can have. And you can actually create your own. You can create your own sound collections to use in Reformer Pro using sound effects from your own personal collection. So if you guys want to find out how to do that, just leave me a comment and I'll make the video. But for now, we want to stay on topic and we just want to show you how this plugin works and what it's capable of. So Reformer Pro, let's listen to what this bonfire sounds. So you can make fire with your voice now. Very cool. So let's go ahead and record this. And I already can tell that this is going to be quite difficult. If I pass out, just call the ambulance or something. But I'm going to take a deep breath because it's not that long of a video, but you see things like this. You can actually use a different input. Like you can put some music on your phone that you think reminds you of this fire, and you can just put it in front of the microphone and it'll do that. So it doesn't have to be your voice, but the input and the the inflection of the input does matter. So if it's going the slopes, the tone, the timbre, all these things will affect your final result. So keep that in mind. But I'm going to do it with my voice for this one. So let's go for it. Okay, I'm going to do another one because it wasn't long enough, clearly. And yeah, breath control, I guess, could be something I could look into. Just making sure it's all set up. Okay. let us resume from about halfway. All right, not bad. Let's listen to what we got. Like that, and just like that. And as you can hear, it doesn't sound like a loop or anything. It does sound like real, which is really cool. I really like this plugin for that. And I have to admit, I don't use it enough. And part of the reason is because it obviously depends what you're doing with it, but for the most part, it's a little bit of a process. So unless you have a workflow already established with this plugin and you already have all these, because, you know, like right out of the box, you don't have enough to, let's say, do a feature film or even a short film. So you're going to be going back and forth between plugin and actual doing Foley live, which for the most part, I prefer doing, because the whole point of Foley, I mean, there's 2 points. One point is to save time, because it's a lot less, like, let's say you're doing footsteps, or if you're doing clothes wrestling, it's a lot less time consuming to actually just do it live as a performance underneath the microphone than it is to like load in sound effects and try to make them fit and sound, you know, like fit the image. But this seems to be somewhat of a middle ground where you can actually take, like, let's say you have a sound effects library or pack of just clothes wrestles. You can stack them, make one of these sound effects collections, and you can, like I said, do somewhat of a middle ground between an actual Foley recording versus using already pre-recorded sound effects of Foley and making a performance out of those, kind of like remixing them, if you will. So, I mean, anyways, the sky's the limit, but this plugin does have a lot of potential, especially if you start, you know, ingraining it into your workflow. So this is most likely something I will look into the future, but for the time being, Foley is still, like, actually doing it live on the spot is still something that's fun, and this is very fun too, but it's all in the essence of time, right? And the final result. So you can hear the final result is very good. Sometimes you're doing Foley and it doesn't sound very good. So maybe if, you know, you use both together, you get the best of both worlds. But if you are interested in actually learning how to do Foley and, you know, doing it live on the spot, leave me a comment and I will make more videos on that, because I think it's a very interesting topic and there's a lot to cover. There's actually too much to cover, especially for one video. So I need to see that you guys have some interest in that. So that being said, that's pretty much all there is to it. The only thing else I would recommend, well, there's 2 things actually. One is once you're done your recordings, you bounce them in place, because these are audio tracks. This is an effects plugin, and you don't want to have like 10 of these running, especially if you have a big session with lots of plugins to save on resources. Unless that's not an issue, then completely disregard what I'm saying, but bouncing it in place, that way you lock it in, is the best way to go. And second thing, this plugin works a lot better with dynamic microphones. Right now I'm using a shotgun microphone, which is right over here, but dynamic microphone will give you a lot more mileage and, you know, flexibility, because you could have it up close. You can, like, really, like, you know, it's in your hand and whatever, you know, it's just more fun with a dynamic microphone. And you have to worry less about, like, ambient noise if you're not in a soundproof room like this one, acoustically treated. So yeah, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more audio plugin spotlights just like this one, and we'll see you in the next one.